who took that video. And, you know, I think everybody agrees good teachers deserve $1 bazillion a year. That is a national for October 24. Thank you for being with us. Have a good night.
Big smile to camera, action. And the dialogue. Oh. Cut.
Subway just hit refresh on delivery.
Order on the app and get a free footlong. Can't have delivery without the grass.
It's not in the script.
It is now.
I have always been very active. Nothing would stop me until knee pain set in and became unbearable. I didn't know what to do. Someone told me to try Genicol Pain Relief, Canada's #1 selling joint care supplement.
Genicol Pain Relief is a natural health product helping to reduce joint pain associated with osteoarthritis. Feel results in 5 days.
Today I can finally get back on track. Try it too and feel the difference.
Genicol makes me feel so good. You want to know that your cosmetics are not tested on animals, that the diamond in your engagement ring is conflict-free, where your produce comes from, if your coffee beans are ethical, and how that business treats their people. If oil and gas came with a label, you would learn Canada's industry is committed to producing cleaner energy through clean technology, investing more than $1 billion annually. This matters because oil and gas will continue to play a key role as renewable energy sources are adopted. Learn more at madethecanadianway.ca.
Eggs? For lunch?
Yeah, I eat them all the time. They're easy.
That's weird.
It's not weird. You're weird. You went to the rodeo one time.
Eggs for lunch isn't weird. You're weird for thinking it's weird.
New Densify from Crest Pro Health.
We want to keep our teeth strong like our bones, so Crest has you covered. Crest Densify actively rebuilds tooth density for stronger teeth.
Smile, Crest has you covered.
When you stay at a Verbo, the host doesn't stay with you. Because without privacy in your vacation home, it isn't really a vacation, is it?
With the right supports, a classroom can become another world, a galaxy, a safe harbor to explore. Supporting our public schools means supporting endless possibilities. Help bring learning to life for our kids.
Last breaths are sacred. When I imagine my final days, I see bubbles. I see the ocean. I see music. Even now, as I seek help to end my life, there is still so much beauty. You just have to be brave enough to see it.
I am Audrey.
And I'm Leah.
Leah inspired me to play hockey. The War Amp has helped me by giving me my devices I need to play hockey.
Audrey has an amputation similar to mine.
What does yours do? The stick clicks in it.
My device from the War Amp allows me to shoot a lot better. It rotates like a wrist, which helps a lot with shooting and stick handling.
When I score a goal, I feel really happy.
With the right supports, a classroom can become another world, a galaxy, a safe harbor to explore. Supporting our public schools means supporting endless possibilities. Help bring learning to life for our kids.
Good evening, I'm Kelda Yoon. It is Election Day in the GTA, and we've been keeping an eye on the results all night. And we begin with John Tory, re-elected as mayor of Toronto. Tory cruised to an early victory, winning for a third term, which will give him a chance to make history. He will become Toronto's longest-serving mayor if he remains in office for the full 4 years. Our Ali Chiasson is at the Fairmont Royal York, John Tory's headquarters. Ali, I know things are winding down now, but where do we go from here?
Well, Kelda, I've just been told that the mayor is finished with all of his media responsibilities for the evening. So at least right now, he is in a private room with his team, John Tory, and his friends and family, celebrating his victory, probably over a couple of glasses of champagne, I would say. So that's in the immediate here. You know, I think a lot of people in the room tonight expected this result, but still, John Tory said that he didn't take this campaign for granted. He says he went and knocked on hundreds and hundreds of doors, and he says he really listened to Torontonians about what they wanted to see to make this great city even better. And he said he also heard a lot of optimism at the front doors, and obviously that optimism translated into votes. Now, he did say in his victory speech tonight that he felt like he had some unfinished business to attend to. Have a listen.
We've come so far over the past 8 years, but we have unfinished business that I'm absolutely determined to see through. We've made so much progress on getting transit and housing built and growing our economy. And now we have a strong mandate to continue with that progress. And that is what I asked for, a strong mandate, and that is what I have been given. We're going to work with the provincial and federal governments to keep getting the big things done. We're going to get housing built, much more housing and much more affordable and supportive housing in many more places across our city. We're going to get the $28 billion transit plan built, the Scarborough Subway, the Ontario Line, the Eglinton Crosstown West, the Yonge Street North Extension, and I am determined to make sure that the Eglinton East, Scarborough LRT, and the waterfront transit lines will be moving forward as well during this term of office.
So he also mentioned in that victory speech another issue that he wants to tend to, and that's the urban decay that we're seeing. And that urban decay might have been a very big motivating factor for people to vote. Now, you know exactly what I'm talking about if you have attempted to throw out a coffee cup one of these days recently at an overflowing garbage can. So that kind of urban decay has been on a lot of people's minds, and he says, Toronto, I heard you about that, and it's one of the first things that he will try to tackle. He said even tomorrow morning he is going to start looking at that file. But before that, I think tonight the celebrations continue with his close friends and family and probably a couple of beers. Send it back to you, Kelda.
Thanks so much, Ali. That's our Ali Chiasson live for us tonight. Now, urbanist Gil Penalosa was also vying for council's top job, trying to convince voters that staying the course with John Tory wasn't the only option. He spoke to his supporters tonight as he conceded the election to John Tory.
Some people say my ideas are common sense. They are. Unfortunately, common sense seems to be the least common of the senses.
Penalosa was considered Tory's top opponent. He made several big campaign promises in recent weeks, including closing the Toronto Island Airport to create more park space, canceling the rebuild of the Gardiner East Expressway, and banning gas-powered leaf blowers. In Brampton, Patrick Brown has won a second term as mayor in a landslide. This comes after his failed run to lead the federal Conservative Party. Megan Fitzpatrick joins us live from Brampton. And Megan, we heard from Brown just a short time ago. What did he have to say?
Yeah, well, supporters here at his campaign party chanted 4 more years as Brown took the stage with his wife and thanking the voters of Brampton for giving him a second term. Brown called it a big victory. There were 5 other candidates trying to take his job away from him, but they were unsuccessful. Brown also called his victory a win against mudslinging and touted how he says he ran a positive campaign. Here's more of what Brown had to say.
And I have to say, you know, this is a win against the politics of negativity, of mudslinging. We ran a positive campaign. We refused to engage in the ugly side of politics and focused on what we've achieved for Brampton over the last 4 years and what we hope to achieve in the next 4.
He touted his accomplishments, including, he says, getting funding for healthcare projects in this city, as well as public transit and freezing property taxes. And he vowed to keep fighting for Brampton for the next 4 years. As you mentioned, it was just a few months ago that he was trying to get a different job when he was running for the leadership of the Federal Conservative Party of Canada. He was disqualified from that race in July amid allegations he broke financing rules, allegations he denied. Then he moved on and decided to try and keep his job as mayor. Now, it hasn't been a smooth ride for Brown the last couple of months at City Council here in Brampton. A lot of turmoil, a lot of controversies. And so one of the challenges immediately facing Brown now that he has been re-elected is to try and unify that City Council.
Yeah, we'll see what his next term brings. Thanks so much, Megan. That's our Megan Fitzpatrick in Brampton tonight.
Tonight's victory is our victory. It's because we share a common vision for the future we want to see for Mississauga.
Bonnie Crombie has been re-elected as mayor of Mississauga for a third term. There were a total of 8 candidates in that race. Now, in recent weeks, Crombie renewed her call for the city to separate from Peel Region, dubbing the idea Mexit. She says the city covers 60% of the cost, but has only 50% of the vote in the region it shares with Brampton and Caledon. And this is a look at Andrea Horwath's campaign headquarters in Hamilton tonight. You can see supporters gathering, waiting to see if the former Ontario NDP leader will become Hamilton's next mayor. But they're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Right now, Horwath is in a close battle with Keenan Loomis. She has about a 1,500 vote lead on Loomis, who is a former president and CEO of the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. And the race for mayor of Vaughan also going down to the wire. This is a look at Stephen Del Duca's headquarters, the former Ontario Liberal leader, hoping to mount a political comeback and replace outgoing Mayor Maurizio Bevilacqua in the city's top job. But Del Duca is in a nail-biter with veteran Vaughan City Councillor Sandra Young-Rocco. Right now, he's up by less than 1,000 votes. Now, with 7 incumbent councillors not running in the Toronto election, plus the tragic death of another one last Friday, there are several open ward races we are keeping a close eye on tonight. With more on that, let's bring in Farah Morali. Farah, you've had your eyes locked on the results, a total of 8 open races tonight in the city. We'll touch on those in a second, but first, some tight races are still going on at this hour with some incumbents being challenged. Farah, what are you watching?
Yeah, some really interesting races taking shape tonight, Kelda. I want to start in Etobicoke Lakeshore. This is Mark Grimes' ward. He's been on council since 2003, endorsed by Mayor John Tory and a close ally. At this hour, we're seeing Amber Morley edging ahead by 2,000 votes with all but 5 polls reporting. This is a rematch, remember, from 2018, where Morley narrowly lost to Grimes. We can now project Morley will be the new face of Ward 3 on council, a very tight race there. Another incumbent race that's shaping up to be super tight is York South-Weston, where Francis Nunziata, the longest-serving city councillor, has a slight lead on Chiara Padovani, a human rights activist and a social worker. At last count, they were separated by something like 60 votes. Nunziata also a close Tory ally, endorsed by the mayor, just too close to call, and we're going to have to keep an eye on that one.
Definitely one to keep an eye on. Now, going back to these open races, 8 in total, what can you tell us about these new faces expected to head to council in these open wards?
Yeah, certainly a lot of new faces, Kelda. Let's start with Etobicoke North. Vincent Crisanti took a commanding lead early in the night. The former city councillor who lost to Michael Ford in 2018 is now poised to return to council. We'll move over to Davenport. This was Anna Bailau's ward, who served on council since 2010. Alejandra Brava ahead by about 13,000 votes with all but 2 polls reporting. We can now project that she will defeat Tory-backed Grant Gonzalez to head to council. Heading over to Spadina, Fort York, TDSB trustee Asma Malik with about a 3,000 vote lead over April Engelberg. That's with all but 4 polls reporting. We can now say that Malik was poised to be Joe Cressy's successor in Spadina, Fort York. Popping over now to Ward 11, University Rosedale, still appears to be a dead heat between Norm Di Pasquale and former Ontario Environment Commissioner Diane Sachs. We're going to have to keep a close eye on this one, folks, because it is, like the other race, too close to call. Heading over to Toronto Centre, Ward 13, no surprise, Chris Moyse ahead by 4,000 votes. We can now project that he will be the councillor for Ward 10. And hopping over to Ward 16, this is Don Valley East. Longtime councillor Denzelman in Wong's ward, we can now tell you that John Burnside, former city councillor, is projected to return to council on this seat. We'll head over now to Willowdale, Ward 18. Lily Chang appears to have edged out Marcus O'Brien Fair, the former chief of staff of John Fillion, who of course was on council since 1997. That was Marcus O'Brien Fair, but Lily Chang, a new face on council for Ward 18. Finally, Scarborough North. This was, of course, the riding of Cynthia Lai, who tragically passed away last week. Her name was on the ballot, but her votes weren't counted. Of course, Jamal Myers is now projected to be the new face of Ward 23. So, Kelda, lots of new faces, some tight races, lots to keep watching tonight.
Thanks so much, Farah. That's our Farah Morale keeping an eye on the results for us tonight. Now, over the last couple of months, you've seen our Dale Manukta reporting out of CBC Toronto's Jane and Finch Community Bureau, talking to residents about what matters most to them in this election. Well, he's there again for us tonight. And Dale, that community in the heart of Ward 7, Humber River Black Creek, certainly going through a lot of changes right now. Among the top concerns, affordable housing and gentrification driving up costs.
Thanks, Kelda. I'm here in the Jane and Finch Mall parking lot. I'm separated by this construction fence. On the other side is construction for the Finch West LRT, and we know that when there's transit infrastructure, in comes the new condo developments and rising property values, and that is driving up rent in this low-income neighborhood. I want to bring in a guest, Wanda McNevin, who has a career in community development, community programming. She's also written 3 books about the Jane and Finch experience, including her last one, By Us, For Us, Activism in Jane and Finch, a working class community. Wanda, obviously housing is top of mind for everybody in this election cycle. What can the city do to best protect legacy tenants and their families?
Well, one form of protection would be to ensure that any new buildings that are being built, that a percentage of those units are there for affordable housing or rent geared to income. That has happened in our community in the past. For example, in the Chalk Farm community, Jane and Wilson, where a certain percentage was allocated, and also across the street at San Romanoway, a certain percentage of the tower are rent geared to income folks. The other thing that we really need to be careful about or consideration about is where people are being asked to leave their unit while they upgrade them, and then they move back and they want to increase their rent. There has to be some kind of legislation or better control on that whole issue, and to ensure that people are able to stay in the home for as long as they need to stay in the home.
And we know that in Ward 7, Humber River, Black Creek, that Toronto Community Housing has a large inventory. They have over 2,500 units, 7,000 residents. There are 18 TCHC communities in Humber River, Black Creek. So what is working, what's not working? What would you suggest to Toronto Community Housing moving forward?
Well, I want to say that you're right. There's a lot of social housing in this neighborhood, and it was not the people that were the problem. It's the way in which it was developed that created the problem. So I would want to say to Toronto Housing that they need to spend more money on the infrastructure and on the maintenance of the current social housing developments. There's a lot of people that live in very bad circumstances, and so a lot more money needs to go into housing. A lot of organizations in the local community are actually working in those neighborhoods and providing programs and supports, propping up what probably social housing ought to be doing a little bit more of. I know they have some programs, but there could be more programs available for the people who are living in social housing.
Well, thank you, Wanda. That's Wanda McNevin, the author of By Us, For Us, Activism in Jane and Finch, a working class community. There are lots of residents that are concerned about all of the new development causing gentrification in this area, so that will be top of mind going forward. Kelda?
And incumbent Anthony Peruza has won the riding of Humber River Black Creek. He's represented the ward since 2018. And this is a live shot of the Toronto skyline tonight after a sunny and warm fall day. We'll take a look at some of the other stories making headlines today, as well as a look at your extended forecast after the break. Stay with us.
Cheers!
State your name.
No comment. I thought you hung up on me.
What? Like I'd be that rude.
Oh, I can't believe I gave you the best 2 minutes of my life. And I'm keeping this, by the way.
22 Minutes, Tuesday at 8 on CBC. Stream free on CBC Gem.
For old favorites, made healthier, Frigidaire's ovens have 15 ways to cook, like air fry and steam bake, to make life a little yummier. Frigidaire.
Your best chance to win $1 million with odds of 1 in 25,000 is coming soon. Introducing the new $100 Ultimate Ticket. Available October 31st for a limited time.
It's the family cottage, but if you asked any of us, it was really Grandpa's happy place. Every day he'd get up first, just to catch the sunrise. He was born on the East Coast, so around a bonfire, he'd play the fiddle instead of the guitar. His second love was his boat, and he named it after his first love, Grandma. And every August, we celebrated his birthday there. I think we always will.
Order for Jorge.
Thanks.
Take it easy.
Jorge! It's trivia night!
Can't tonight. Have fun.
Tickets here. Front row tickets. Great price.
I'm good, thanks. Nope.
Jorge, hang later?
Hey, next time.
Hey, sure you don't want to come?
Sure you don't want to stay?
Quality and advanced safety features are built into every Toyota. Order yours today. Learn more at shoptoyota.ca.
It started with one nurse and an impossible dream that every child should be a healthy child. It grew into a place of legends. These halls have given rise to many, where some give their entire youth for a chance to grow old. It's time to finish what we started and build a new hospital worthy of legends.
Don't let the flu keep you from life's special moments. If you're over 65, get a quadrivalent flu vaccine authorized only for use in adults 65 and older, protecting you against 4 types of flu viruses. Ask your pharmacist for Fluzone High-Dose Quadrivalent.
Feel the thrill of OLG.ca's online casino with your favorite live dealers, slots, and table games. Sign up now at OLG.ca.
Only Electrolux has Smart Boost technology for the most effective stain removal, extending the life of the clothes and fabrics you love for a more sustainable future.
Good-looking guy, cute story, lovable dog. I'm not into him at all. Aw, what a cutie. The dog, obviously.
Why does he smell like lavender?
It's me.
It's way too soon.
The bottle slipped, okay?
Strays, Tuesdays at 8:30. Stream free on CBC Gem. Brought to you in part by Pet Value.
Welcome back. Time now for a look at some of the other stories making news tonight. Ontario Premier Doug Ford and his former Solicitor General have been summoned to the Emergencies Act inquiry after both refused to appear. The inquiry is looking into the federal government's use of the Emergencies Act in response to the protest convoy that descended on Ottawa and a number of border crossings last winter. Both Ford and Sylvia Jones have been asked by the Commission to appear a number of times. A spokesperson for the Ontario Attorney General's office said the government will be challenging the summons, arguing that Jones and the Premier are covered by parliamentary privilege. A coroner's inquest into the death of 18-year-old Sammy Yatim is set to begin next month. The Toronto teen was shot and killed by police in 2013. A former Toronto police officer, James Forcillo, shot Yatim while the teen was in the middle of a mental health crisis on an empty streetcar. Forcillo was convicted of attempted murder in 2016 and granted full parole in 2020. The inquest will last 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 With food prices rising at a rate not seen in more than 40 years, the Federal Competition Bureau is launching a study into the grocery business. Now, grocery costs shot up more than 11% last month. Now, Ottawa says it wants to see if there's something the government can do to improve competition. The Competition Bureau says it will look into pricing, barriers to entry and expansion, and what's being done in other countries to promote competition. Now, critics say a study doesn't go far enough, and there should be a full investigation of competitive practices in the grocery industry. An update now to a story you may have heard this morning on CBC Radio. 3 of the 8 people CBC Toronto spoke with who paid deposits for solar panels got their money back after CBC contacted the company. Now, Sunwave Incorporated was selling solar panels and installations door to door in the GTA and Alberta. Customers say they took deposits but didn't hold up their end of the contract and ghosted them. As CBC Toronto spoke with half a dozen people who say collectively they were out nearly $70,000. A customer who got a refund shared the news with us earlier.
I felt it like I got a gift at Diwali, though it's just my own money. So, but as I was thinking, it's only not the people who reached out to CBC or media. It should be everybody getting their money back, and then this kind of things shouldn't be happening.
A lawyer for Sunwave told CBC Toronto the company is aware of the allegations from its customers and is taking their concerns seriously by investigating. Let's go to Dahlia Ashry now with a look at your forecast. And Dahlia, we were spoiled this weekend, and today another beautiful day. And it's a busy day. We have the election, we have Diwali, so it's great to see the sun out.
That's right, Kelda. Mother Nature was on everyone's side today. Didn't turn on the tap there with the rain, but that will be coming on around the corner. But we'll get to that in just a bit. But yes, so much to observe today from Diwali. Happy Diwali to those that celebrate. And it was election day and lots of sunshine, no rain. But like I said, that is around the corner. Today's daytime high in Toronto, 19 degrees, sitting well above seasonal temperatures. Usually the daytime high this time of year is 11 degrees. There is a low pressure system, though, that is making its way into the province, and that will be hitting us by Wednesday, but we'll get to that in a bit. There was also a air weather statement that was in effect for today and into tonight as well, so there's lots of pollution in the air, and for those that have asthma, you're going to feel that the air is a little thicker, so you might need your inhaler for those that use it. You might experience some coughing and also a little bit of irritation in your throat, so that's really what we're seeing for tonight. We're also seeing some windy conditions. Tonight winds will be gusting up to 25 kilometers an hour. As we head into tomorrow morning, it'll really pick up to 35 kilometers an hour. And as we head into Wednesday, we're going to see that it's a very windy day. Winds will be gusting up to 44 kilometers an hour and then sitting around the 30s. But also, we're going to be experiencing some rain on Wednesday as well. Now, the reason for that is because there's a low pressure system that's making its way in. It's called the Low Colorado. So that means that low pressure system giving us cloudy conditions, but also that rain, some strong rain at around 1 o'clock, some precipitation at around 4 o'clock, and a risk of a thunderstorm, and it'll start to clear up as we head into Thursday. Tonight, temperatures will drop as well. We'll see that it will be 11 degrees overnight tonight, and then Halloween is a week away. This is the time to decorate your home. We have mostly warm and dry condition except for Wednesday, like we talked about, and then we get to a little bit of those colder nights on Thursday and Friday, back down to those single digits, almost near that freezing mark, but not quite. And then as we head into the weekend, we'll be seeing the perfect condition with Halloween around that corner. 11 degrees, 12 degrees Saturday and Sunday, 13 degrees on Monday. So this is an incredible week, really, with those high pressure system and above seasonal temperatures. Kelda?
Thanks, Dahlia.
The weather update is brought to you by Trane. We test, so it runs. Trane, the most reliable heating and cooling brand. It's hard to stop a Trane. Family Feud Canada on CBC and stream free on CBC Gem.
Cheers!
State your name.
No comment. I thought you hung up on me.
What? Like I'd be that rude.
Oh, I can't believe I gave you the best 2 minutes of my life. And I'm keeping this, by the way.
22 minutes, Tuesday at 8 on CBC. Stream free on CBC Gem.
The early bird deadline in the Princess Margaret Home Lottery is Friday, November 18th. Don't miss our world-famous $2.8 million early bird prize, a Muskoka lakefront cottage built by Linwood, plus $100,000 cash. You'll also be in to win the $7.2 million grand prize, plus over 25,000 prizes valued at $20 million. Don't wait. Early bird deadline, November 18th. Tickets at princessmargaretlotto.com.
Quality and durability are built into every Toyota. Order yours today. Learn more at shoptoyota.ca.
Don't let the flu keep you from life's special moments. If you're over 65, get a quadrivalent flu vaccine authorized only for use in adults 65 and older, protecting you against 4 types of flu viruses. Ask your pharmacist for Fluzone High-Dose Quadrivalent.
2 million liters of power creates electricity. Electricity creates. Fallsview Casino.
What if I could get my business off the ground?
What if I could expand with confidence?
What if nothing stood in the way of my business?
Get ready for what if. Meridian, where banking feels good.
College keeping you busy?
Yeah, I'm learning about real-time video compression algorithms.
Sure.
Which lets Prince know that it's not the mailman.
A smart world requires a smart education. Get one at an Ontario college.
With Rogers' fastest Ignite Internet, you can stay ahead of the game.
First one done. Another A+.
One again. First place. Do more with our fastest Ignite Internet with the world's most powerful Wi-Fi technology.
Look at this. They got ice cream on a stick now.
Teo, that's old news. These have been around forever, like before waterbeds were a thing.
Chapman's. It's a family thing.
With the bigger spins, 3 exciting levels of play, 3 is better than 1. You could win with a scratch, win with a watch, or win when you play for the grand prize at the OLG Prize Center. Play Scratch Watch Win instant tickets today for your chance to win big.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by Best Buy. Get your hands on cutting-edge tech and imagine the possibilities in store at Best Buy.
A celebration this afternoon officially recognizing the 2020 appointees to the Order of Ontario.
The leadership, the commitment to excellence and innovation, and the community-minded thinking that you have collectively demonstrated can inspire Ontarians in our efforts to build back both bolder and better.
The Order of Ontario is the province's highest civilian distinction. Among the inductees, Mike Harris, who served as Ontario's 22nd Premier, and Hazel McCallion, known to many as Hurricane Hazel, Mississauga's longest-serving mayor. Dale Lastman, son of the late Mel Lastman, was also recognized. Today's ceremony saw more than 24 honored with the Order of Ontario. And Diwali celebrations are underway. It's one of the most important festivals in Hindu culture, and this year it's even more special for those celebrating.
Yeah, so Pramukh Swami Maharaj is our inspirer and our guru, and we are celebrating his 100th birth anniversary this year in November to commemorate his life, his legacy, and all that he's left behind for us.
Diwali is known as the Festival of Lights, marking the triumph of a good over evil. Celebrations will go on throughout the GTA for the next 5 days. That's our show for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.
This original CBC program is available in described video.
The following program contains mature subject matter and coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
To all the heroes